All right, so some of you are having problems with the f of g or g of f, where basically you have to put a function inside another function. So we're gonna work a few problems out so you can see what that is pretty easy. You just gotta ignore the fact of all the parentheses and not get confused by what do you mean a function inside a function. So say our f of x is equal to 5x minus 3, g of x is negative x squared, and h of x is 3x minus 1 divided by x. So the first one is find f of g of x. So what it's saying is f of, whenever it says f of x, so remember f of x, when we say like f of 3, right, we just plug in 3 for x. So essentially it's the same thing. So wherever it has x, we're going to plug in our g of x. So our f of x is 5 times x. So where there's an x, you're going to plug in your g of x, which is negative x squared. It's negative x squared minus 3. Simplify everything out. Negative 5x squared minus 3. So now the other way around. G of f of x. So again, now this way you're going to put our f inside our g. So wherever there's an x, you're going to put f. So it's equal to negative 5x minus 3 squared. This turns out to be negative 25x squared minus 30x plus 9. Distribute the negative, so you get negative 25x squared plus 30x minus 9. Simple. H of g of x is equal to, so for the h, wherever there's an x, you're going to plug in negative x squared. So it's going to be 3 times negative x squared minus 1 divided by negative x squared. So you're left with negative 3x squared minus 1 divided by negative x squared. So this just turns out to be 3x squared minus plus 1 over x squared. Remember the negatives cancel out. Negative on bottom, negative on top. So now using the same numbers, the same functions, we're going to find f of g of negative 1. So f of g negative 1. So instead of doing all this work and then plugging in negative 1, we're going to do an easy way of just plugging in negative 1 into here first, and then whatever number you get here, plug it into to f of x. So first we do g of negative 1. So g of negative 1 is equal to negative times negative 1 squared. Negative 1 squared is 1 times the negative is negative 1. So now we're going to find f of negative 1. So it'll be 5 times negative 1 minus 3, which will give you negative 8. So if you plugged in negative 1 into here, negative 1 squared would be 1 times negative 5 would be negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. Same thing. Alright, now f of h of 5. So again, plug in 5 to your h. So you're going to get 3 times 5 minus 1 over 5. These are h is 5. So you get 3 times 5 is 15 minus 1 is 14. 14 over 5. So now we're plugging in 14 over 5 into our f. So f of 14 over 5, same thing as saying 5 times 14 over 5 minus 3. 5's cancel, so you're left with 14 minus 3, which is just 11. So g of f of 2. So what do we do first? That's right, plug in our 2 into our f function, 5x minus 3. So f of 2 is equal to 5 times 2 minus 3. So you go to 10 minus 3, which is equal to 7. So now this 7 is going to go inside our g. So this is g of 7, which is equal to negative 7x squared. 7 squared is 49 times negative is negative 49. Alright, now it's a little bit tricky, but it's the same thing. So we have h of f of g of 0. So you got to work yourself outwards. So first things first, we're going to solve g of 0. So g of 0 is equal to negative 0 squared, which is just 0. So now we got to find f of 0. Since this 0 you get with 0, you got to find f of 0. F of 0 is equal to 5 times 0 minus 3, which is equal to negative 3. So now we got to find h of negative 3, which is equal to 3 times negative 3 minus 1 over negative 3. So this becomes negative 9 minus 1 minus 3, which is equal to negative 10 over negative 3, which is, sorry about that, which is 10 over 3. Simple as that. Again, this is just practice. So remember, you got to work yourself outward. So you got to find the number. So it's f of g of negative 1. Find everything inside the parentheses first, and then work yourself outwards. And I hope you found this video helpful. Just email me if you have any other questions or any other problems you need for me to solve or to help you out with.